It's interesting. Your definition of jurisdiction there shows the synthetic nature of what men and women do compared to what nature does. It flies in the face of the opening words of the book of John, which I take as a maxim of basically natural law. In the beginning was the word. People are familiar with it, but to get back to the popular culture and how the way we think is controlled, go back to Anarchy in the UK, that song made famous by the Sex Pistols. In the opening words, if I'm not mistaken, it might be a little further in, he says, I am an anarchist, and then he says, I am the Antichrist. And basically what Mark's laying down is, for people who followed on with the law episodes, we can show the King James Version 1611, that's the foundations for law in our world. But it goes to show you what men have done who seek more power using the very thing that encodes the natural, the provably correct way of things. I mean, what would you say there, Mark?
I think that's definitely correct. And I always liken it to the biblical allegory of Eden, where the creator is basically expressly forbidding the alleged eating of the fruit of the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. And people don't understand that allegory. They don't understand what that means. It does not mean that the creator is forbidding to know good and evil. The word to eat of the tree, to eat of that fruit, okay, is a mistranslation in the original Hebrew. It doesn't mean to consume and actually by eating something like we would eat a piece of food. It's an allegory that means to take into oneself or to arbitrate. That's what the concept of to eat means. Instead of to eat, look at it as to consume, meaning to take into oneself or take upon oneself, or to arbitrate what the difference between right and wrong is. Instead of discovering it, okay, to eat of that fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, it doesn't mean just to know what the difference between good and evil is. It means to say that you have become the arbitrator of the difference between good and evil, that you are not just a discoverer as anyone can become, because there is a truth regarding the objective difference between right and wrong. That is our task as human beings, is to literally discover what the objective difference between right behavior and wrong behavior is, and then willfully choose through our free will the right over the wrong.